And we are back with more Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 4, and welcome to the middle section of World 12, where a lot of the doors are going to be on the corners and the edges of each stage, so it's important that you stick to the outside in these stages. You can use the middle for transportation purposes, but really that's about it. I mean, there are going to be some pipes, there are going to be catapults, or trampolines, whatever you want to call them, that you have to use, but outside of that you want to stay to the outside, and that was a lot closer than that needed to be with the invincibility. But yeah, for this first stage, or stage 4, you should start by going down first, and then that way you can get to some more goodies here, because depending on where you go, you can actually run into a lot of trouble really fast in these later stages, and that's especially true in the next stage, and if you actually went up in this stage, you actually would have ran into a lot more trouble. But, yeah, just with these stages, they are a lot bigger, obviously, and, you just have to make sure that you know where the keys are going to be, and, or not where the keys are going to be, just, how to get to each door. So it is important that you do study this ahead of time. I mean, not really study it ahead of time, but just plan it out. You know what I mean. But I feel like now I should give my thoughts on the game, since we are almost done here. And what I did like over the third one especially was that they did a much better job diversifying this game. They added a lot more enemies, even though some of them did the same things, but they did a good job adding enemies. They also did a good job of adding gimmicks. I mean, the gimmicks were relatively the same, but I never felt like the gimmicks were being unfair, and I never felt that the game was being unfair. I mean, the game was tough, sure, but at the end of the day, I never felt like I was not in control of what I was doing. And I mean, in Crazy Castle 3, whenever I ended up dying, some of them felt like cheap deaths, but that really wasn't as bad. And, if I had to pick, I would definitely take this one over 3. I mean, there were some parts where, finishing the game, especially finishing this Let's Play, was kind of a slug, and, you know, that was just something that just happened outside of other extra things that happened to me, schedule-wise, throughout, or between December and now. But, I really do feel like this was a decent series for me to Let's Play, and I do feel like I did a pretty decent job with it. And I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have done post-commentary in the future, but you know, I mean, what am I trying to say here? But what I'm trying to say is that I felt like the Let's Play worked out pretty well, and I felt that the commentary part of it might have worked out sometimes, and it was kind of hit or miss. I think for the first one it was a pretty good idea, but then after that I wasn't really so sure. But I mean, I might actually do some commentary-free Let's Plays at some point, but you know, I'll just think about that some more. And with these pipes, you do have to take the upper one in order to get to one of the keys. Or not one of the keys, but one of the areas close to the key. And, let's see, all I'm trying to do here is just make sure that dog doesn't get in the way. So let's just dispose of him. And, fortunately, some of these last keys are actually really close to the exit, so no need for me to speed these up. So let's just take the wrong ladder and then get to the exit. So stage 4 went by pretty fast, and stage 5 is going to be a lot more overwhelming at the start. And what I'm going to do is just get one more carrot and then head off to the right, because if you do head up and try and go to those doors immediately, it's pretty easy to get trapped between Elmer Fudd, and then there's a couple of coyotes up there too. So that is something you do have to worry about. And the biggest problem with the coyotes is that since they are always chasing you, you do have to make sure you know just where they're coming from, because it is pretty easy for them to surprise you. And it's even easier to get trapped by a bunch of them. And just like that one, running around guarding that door. I actually do need to get to that door at some point to get a key. And then just like the rest of the game, they did a good job of hiding all the keys in the most inconvenient places. So that's just something you do have to keep in mind. And let's see, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to line up my shot with these coyotes, because there is a lightning bolt in this treasure chest. And here I'm just waiting for him to get out of the door so I can use it. And right here, let's just dispose of some of these guys. And that just makes things a lot easier. I was just trying to get one more, and I did. And a lot of those lightning bolts were actually few and far between, but they really do come through at the right time. So what I have to do here is just make sure I just get to everything where I can. And you do get to choose between balloons and carrots in some of these places. And I think in this stage is when they start introducing the concept of dropping down in order to get the conveyor belt in order to get the keys. I mean, they didn't really introduce the concept, it's just they reintroduce it. That's what I meant to say. And let's see, what do I need to do here? Okay, here I'm going for that key. And this does take a while, so I just decided to speed that part up. And you are gonna see a jump cut soon, that's just me backtracking. And right here. And make sure you do hold up when you're going up there so you can get into that pipe. And see, here you need to use the rope and then make sure you use the rope again to drop down. So let's see, where was I? And just gotta run out of stuff to say on this stage. Getting back to my assessment of this game, I felt that some of the gimmicks, I mean, I did like the gimmicks, I already talked about that, never mind. The gameplay was actually just fine. I felt that the levels were definitely a lot bigger in this game than they were in 3. And I think they were just as big as the ones in 2. But at least 2 had an excuse because there were only 28 levels. And then 29 if you count the final boss. This one does have 68. And no, I'm not gonna say that other one if you count the final boss. Because we are definitely not adults here. Or we are totally adults here. But anyway, what we're doing here is just doing a sweep of the rest of the area just to make sure I get to everything. But I mean, this is definitely one game where you do have to space it out while you're playing, because otherwise you're gonna get really sick of it. Which is something that did happen to me at some point. But I mean, I did come together and finish it off, so I just had to do this and then just commentate over the last 3 stages. Which I don't think should be too tough, but you never know. Let's see, here I do have more than enough weapons to take care of this, so I might as well do that. I mean, I should be shooting that coyote, but I'm not. And right there, it is really easy to get trapped in a corner between the coyote and then Elmer Fudd. So all I need to do is just finish this off. And I'll do that by going up this pipe and then getting the last key. But yeah, these first 2 stages go by pretty fast when you know what you're doing. When you don't know what you're doing, you're probably gonna end up dying a few times. But that's just part of learning this game. And in the next part, I am just gonna give my final thoughts on the series, and then maybe commentate a little bit over, commentate most of the way on the stages. And here I do have one more carrot to get invincibility, and what I'm trying to do is just once again line up my shot and then make sure I get to everything. And now that I can do that, let's just go ahead and take out some enemies. And right here, just taking care of a coyote, a bulldog, and then Elmer Fudd. So that's gonna make things an awful lot easier for me. So let's just go ahead and then make sure we get everything here. So what I need to do here is just make sure I make sure I end up putting myself in a good position here because or a good spot here, because there are a lot of conveyor belts you do have to worry about in this stage. And the biggest thing you do have to worry about is just dropping down, and then you also have to worry about making sure you don't get trapped whenever you do drop down, either from ropes or from conveyor belts or pipes. Either way, you're going to be doing a lot of moving in this stage, and just like before, they are really big. And what I'm doing here is just a decent fake out. I actually have some skill left over. And the keys are going to be pretty tough to come by here. And yeah, I mean, don't have much else to say about this, which has been a recurring problem throughout this entire series. Or not only this one, but then there was 2, then there was 3. So that was one of the reasons why I felt like commentary really wasn't as necessary as it could have been. I mean, I could have commentated a bit over like what to do in each stage and like how to handle like each gimmick as it goes by. I mean, that probably would have made a lot more sense. But at the end of the day, these are things I'm just thinking out loud with you guys in order to get better at this. Because I'm sure you guys would like to see that, and I'm sure I would like to see that. But yeah, after the last 3 stages, I am going to be going back to, I guess, what I was doing earlier with shorter stuff, and then the next one I know is going to be much different. It's actually going to be a 1-parter. Well, I guess a one-off and then something else. And then the next series should actually be pretty easy. And then after that, I'm actually going to be doing my first action RPG, which I've actually never done one for this channel, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But let's see, here you have to drop down to get to that key. That's actually the only way you can get to it. And so wait, there might be one other way to do that from above, but I don't really remember. But what you must do here is make sure you use the ropes to get to these keys. And then do it again. Well, at least they were pretty easy with, or pretty generous with giving you 1-ups. So let's see, what I need to do here is just use the ropes again. And this was something that was a recurring theme in this stage, is that you do have to drop down from different places to get to the keys. And I mean, I did find that a few times, especially in, I think it was World 4 and then maybe one more in World 11. But I mean, I forget though. So let's see, what I need to do here is just make sure I clean up the rest of the area with using the ropes and then using trampolines and whatnot. And that's just me trying to figure out where to drop down from. And now that we got 5 keys, I have to go to the top and then the right in order to get to those last ones. Let's see, this might be... oh, this is number 6. At least that's making things a little bit easier. And yeah, a long way to go here. And since that did take a while, I didn't really feel like jump cutting all the way here. I mean, I could have, but, you know, that wouldn't be very fair to you guys not to see the stage. Oh, now that we got that, let's just keep going here. Let's see, that's number 7. Number 8 should be pretty close to the exit, just like before. And there's one more long backtrack. And I could swear I did this, or I made it go, or fast forward a little bit quicker. But oh well, now that we got that, let's just get another gun. And then here I remember that you have to drop down from the conveyor belt in order to get to the last key. But I guess since I was feeling maniacal and didn't really have anything better to do, I just decided to come down here and just kill some enemies for some reason. I guess I was just feeling sadistic like that. Anyway, now that that's done with, let's just drop down and get to the... And right here is just where I remember where the last key was. And then I had to drop down and get it. Well, let's just get to the exit. And with that, I will see you in the final part.